You stay in poverty until you learn the first lesson of poverty, which is 2 words: my fault. And so when I was younger, I was really angry at my parents, like many people are, right? Justified or not, doesn't really matter. I was very angry and I blamed them for the woes of my life. And I realized when I was 19 that these people that I hated, I was giving all the power over the fact that I wasn't the person I wanted to be. And I was like, well, it's their fault. And the idea that I had actually given these people that I hated power over my success was ultimately something that made me feel sick to my stomach and was what allowed me to point the finger of blame inwards and say my fault, and then at least take ownership over the fact that sure, maybe your dad didn't hug you enough, or maybe your mom wasn't present, or whatever it is, right? It's like, and I said this the other day, and it'll probably piss off a lot of your audience, so, we can put our soft earphones on. If you suffered from racial inequality, if you suffered from gender inequality, if you suffered from being born in Bangladesh, if you were sexually abused your entire life, you would be completely justified in the fact that you are not achieving the things that other people who didn't have those disadvantages have achieved. And I say this as a white guy who was born in America to a doctor father. I understand that. But at the same degree, you have the opportunity that Chris nor I have, which is that you can be an inspiration to people who went through the same thing and succeeded, despite those circumstances. Because I can promise that there is somebody who has had it worse and has done it better. And I think that one single point of proof, and there's a global point of proof that you can look for sure, but you can be that very local point of proof in your community or sub-community. And I think as soon as we shed that, that's I'm a big fan of power follows the blame finger. So wherever you point the blame finger is where the power follows. And so it's if you point it at the government has the power. If you point it at your spouse and say it's their fault that I'm not in shape, it's their fault, they never let me do anything, it's well, you're giving them all the power. And so it's until you're it's my fault, it also becomes my responsibility. What is?
What if it's not your fault?
It doesn't matter. And I can't run marathons because I lost my leg at birth. And either you can just never try, or you put the metal thing on and you do it anyways. Shoot, I can't remember where it was from. But basically that the best art is art where the artist makes it for themselves, and where you see commercial work, it's where a bunch of people are trying to make something for an audience. And so they're trying to rinse and recycle stuff that actually solves no one's problems because no one is actually the audience. Whereas when you make it for yourself, there's thousands of people just like you who will have the same depth of understanding of it,